them. From local markets to retail stores, music venues, and restaurants, small businesses make up the backbone of our community. So go on, embrace all they have to offer by shopping, dining, listening, and loving local. Visit ssmcoc.com to learn more or to join the chamber today. First Local, supported by Maker North, 3D printing, laser cutting, 3D design, education, prototyping, and more. Maker North, whatever it takes. Good morning, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of First Local. You are here with Heidi and Craig.
Good morning.
We're just sitting here chatting about banter, the meaningless trivia that people come up with.
It's not
Small
so
talk.
meaningless.
Well, small
a lot
talk.
of people, small talk.
I abhor
water cooler
small talk. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I find that in general, small talk actually, it tends to aggravate me.
Does it?
I'd rather leap right into something meaty than engage in, hi, how are you?
Okay, well, let's dive into something meaty. Last night was City Council. We'll just touch on this for a bit because I know you have a news story coming up. But they did vote to give more money to the plaza last night. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want the plaza. They think it's just a total waste.
Yes.
And I can see their point. But they said something interesting last night at the meeting.
Oh, you watched it?
I did watch it.
Okay.
That this plaza is only part of a bigger vision for downtown, right?
Okay.
Which is great. I'd like to know what the other bigger vision is. I think they would have a better sell on the plaza if they would say, well, this is only part one. Part 2 and part 3 are coming, and this is what those parts are.
Well, I heard they're going to put a splash pad at the in the station mall.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
So that's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, because we need one more. Now we've got one in
Well, not a
in
splash
the
pad,
East
but maybe like
End. We've got one in the West End. Let's put one right downtown. Oh, actually, but that's happening at the downtown plaza. And isn't that part of the?
Well, yeah, they have a splash pad down there.
Sure.
Yeah. But my point is that I'm all in favor of the downtown plaza.
Okay.
Right?
Ooh, wrong side.
Yes, there's other things happening in the city that need to be done. Roads, for one, right? The drug problem and the crime problem need to be addressed.
Yes.
I wish we could do all three all at the same time. But I like the development of the city. I want to see the city built up, and this is part of it. So I'm for the plaza. I'm not for, say, the timing. I guess I wish there was more money that they could use to do everything they need to do.
Well, I think it speaks to priorities and what and everybody's going to have an opinion on what should be prioritized, and certainly people who are affected by issues. Colette, I'll just go to a lighter issue. Did hit one of the cavernous potholes on Bruce Street and destroyed her tire to the tune of $260. So I think when you're personally affected, it's going to permanently alter how you would prioritize the spending.
I mean, I don't agree with them taking money from roads to build this.
No.
I think they could have financed the overrun because apparently we're not really in debt in this city a lot. We don't carry a lot of debt.
Okay.
We can afford to get
So we're not
debt.
looking at the population as a collective then.
Well, that's what happens. You have to build things for people to enjoy here who live here, but also I would really like to know what the other parts of the plan are. If the city can kind of roll that out, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
In the meantime, we do have more news on this coming up.
All the
right?
news.
All the news.
All the news.
I got some nice weather to tell you about too.
Great.
That's coming up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Here's Heidi with the news.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, further to our, lighthearted discussion of, what went down at City Council. Before you go to the clip, Mike, the preamble to the story is we did let our viewership know, both on the website as well as on the show last week, that there were ways that you could get your voice heard because, the meeting had been declared and it was an emergency meeting and there were certain parameters under which people would be able to speak. And one of those parameters would be to make an application to become a delegation. Now, multiple people did reach out to the city with the intent of becoming a delegation. They wanted to speak out to council about the plaza project at last night's meeting. So the people who then did give us feedback did indicate that they all received a letter from City Clerk Rachel Chazinski stating that they would not be allowed. An excerpt from one letter read as follows: "There will be no delegations to council on May 2nd, 2022 regarding the downtown plaza, as there have been previous opportunities to provide public input regarding this project. Any written comments that you provide will be added to the council agenda or addendum and will form part of the official record. You may also wish to reach out directly to your ward councillors and the mayor with your comments." Now, that's, a respectful response and gives a reason why. However, what was noticed was within the timing, the direction on how to appeal this decision and if the request was taken to the Agenda Review Committee is actually indicated and set out in the bylaw. However, the opportunities to provide feedback that are referenced in Tazinski's letter in response to the applications to become delegation, those opportunities did occur before significant cost overruns that were brought to council. So yes, they were denied and they were given reasons. Had the situation changed sufficiently, though, to warrant exception to the reasons provided? So then, last night, two options were entertained for the downtown plaza: approve with the extra amount or reduce the scope scale. Not listed was any thought of canceling the project. So after significant presentation by Deputy CAO Mr. Tom Vare, an extensive discussion, council did vote 8-3 in favor of spending the extra CCBF, which was formerly the gas tax fund. So in the end, the city is responsible for 81% of the total costs, according to the figures presented by Matthew Shoemaker during the meeting. Now, on the pro side, the individuals who voted for, of course, we have Mayor Provenzano, Corey Gardy, Paul Christian, Sandra Hollingsworth, Lisa Vizzo-Allen, Donna Hilsinger, Luke Dufour, and Rick Nero, and against Marchie Bruni, Matt Scott, and Matt Shoemaker. So there is the update. It's approved. Here is what the mayor had to say.
To Councillor Dufour and Councillor Vizzo-Allen. It's their ward, but I believe it is our community's investment. I don't believe Pointe Park belongs to you and Councillor Gary, right? Or the folks that live out there. Belongs to the community at large, and we've done a good job trying to get more people out there to enjoy it. But I want to use a metaphor, just to carry on the metaphor that you used, is when there's a crack in the foundation. And it's a good metaphor. But we have to decide collectively what we see as the crack in the foundation. What is the actual crack in the foundation? And I'd suggest to you, in my 7 years here, I don't believe the crack in the foundation is the state of the roads. I believe we should be investing more in roads. And I believe this council has made the decision to invest more in roads. And I believe we are investing millions more in roads today than we were a couple of years ago. And that number is going to continue to increase. But that's not the crack in the foundation, in my opinion. My opinion is only relevant for the next 7 months, but it is still relevant. The crack in the foundation is that we have to make these type of investments in our community. And if we do not make these type of investments in our community, we will not see the vibrancy and the growth and the assessment that we want to see. And the reality is, we don't habitually make these type of investments in our community. And when we do, it's a big deal, and it shouldn't be. And if you look at the amount of investments made in other communities, in our comparators, these quality of life investments, they dwarf ours.
And there you have it. Okay, on to the next item of business. There's been a passing of the torch at Sault Fire Services. So Sault Fire Service then had recently embarked and is now embarking once again on changes at the upper management level. The former Deputy Chief of Fire Operations, Stuart Cole, has served the community for over 25 years as firefighter and has recently retired. His replacement, Deputy Chief Mike Oliverio, was a platoon chief and brings decades of firefighting experience to the role. They have also, in this moment, made a social media post looking for applications to replace the Assistant Chief of Support Services. Sioux Online did reach out for comment from Deputy Chief Cole last week, and then the department as a whole earlier yesterday. We did receive a response from Public Education Officer Aaron Gravel, who provided this comment to our inquiry. We will be making a brief social media post about the retirement of DC Cole and the promotion of DC Oliverio. However, neither will contain pictures, as both members have requested not to have pictures nor statements posted at this time. Another platoon chief has also recently retired. The two platoon chief positions will be filled internally by qualified captains who will be promoted. Sioux Online certainly wishes Deputy Chief Cole and Platoon Chief Simon a safe and fulfilling retirement, along with sincere thanks for the service that has been provided to our community. All right, we will now... It's too big, Mike. I did research into that. I have a very robust list to go through. Thank you. As I was going to, we will now go over to Craig for some weather.
I'd rather hear the emergency preparedness.
Oh, you're going to hear it.
Today we do have some clouds sticking around, cooler temperatures than we should be seeing, but it's only for one more day, and then things are going to make a major change towards some very sunny skies and some very warm temperatures we just have to deal with today, which isn't all that bad. We'll take a look at outside. It's a little better than yesterday, where we couldn't see this picture because of the fog, but we do have some clouds sticking around, and that is our day. Mostly what you're going to be seeing is cloud. Let's take a look at your 12-hour forecast and see where we're sitting. We're at 2 degrees now. I have showers this morning. We could see a little bit of shower activity, primarily to the east of the city. Otherwise, we're just staying cloudy. We're going to see the winds pick up from the northwest this afternoon, making things a little more chilly out there. Temperatures anywhere from 7 to 11 degrees this afternoon, 4 degrees for your evening, and we clear out. We definitely lose all the cloud. It's going to be a very clear night, but cool one at -1. But then we start turning up the heat, and the summer weather is here.
Yes,
Wait till you see the temperatures coming next week. But it's going to be a build up to that, and I'll tell you all about that coming up.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. Actually, we could have talked about that in banter. I started my walking last night for real this time.
Nice.
It's on. Okay, so we will take a break. We're going to go into the world of our sponsors. You're going to hear from Superior Adult Learning, actively engaging the adult learners with literacy goals in the community to make a concretized plan and reach those goals with the support of Wendy and Pat, as well as their fleet of dedicated tutors. As well, we will hear from the Chamber, inviting everybody to do all things local, love local, dine local, dance local, because you can dance now, all that kind of thing. When we come back, I'm going to go. Sault Ste. Marie has an emergency preparedness plan. It is Emergency Preparedness Week, all week long, so I thought it'd be interesting to take a guided tour of what, we have in place should an emergency go down. So, yeah. On top of that, we've got all sorts of other stuff happening, the Leafs, we've got factoids, so go fill your cup and come on back. Superior Adult Learning provides free one-on-one support to help you reach your goals. Improve your reading, writing, and math skills, become more independent, and increase your employability. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now. Shop local, dine local, listen local, love local. Small businesses in the Algoma area have been a huge part of our community. Now is the time to show our support for them. From local markets to retail stores, music venues, and restaurants. Small businesses make up the backbone of our community. So go on, embrace all they have to offer by shopping, dining, listening, and loving local. Visit ssmcoc.com to learn more or to join the chamber today. Good morning and welcome back. As per the ongoing passive power struggles between Mike, the producer, and I, we will get into what the city has in place in terms of emergency preparedness, but last week was, on Thursday, was International Guide Dogs Day, and I did have the opportunity of speaking with a fantastic lady by the name of Melissa Jackson-Arnold rather, excuse me, who did spend some time with me to discuss her experiences in working with a guide dog and what that has brought to her life. So we'll show you that now. Well, if you didn't know, April 27th is the celebration of International Guide Dogs Day, and in that spirit, I am the lucky one who gets to sit and speak with Melissa Johnson-Arnold, who it does have a guide dog. Hello, Melissa. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, we see these working dogs, you see them frequently. I think it is commonly known, and some of them even have the little signage that says, I'm working, don't pet me, sort of thing. And as hard as that is, you still respect that these dogs are very specifically trained. So talk to me then. So when did you first acquire a guide dog?
Okay, so I got my first guide dog when I was 32.
Okay.
Because I lost my vision between 30 and 32. One I went, and then the other I went. That's a whole other story.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that you could still have some vision and get a guide dog. I thought you had to be completely blind, and that's not the case.
Okay.
So it was, I applied, and it all happened really fast. I just happened to fall in a slot.
Okay.
They fast track kind of thing.
So now when you make the application, first of all, is there like a central organization that you go through to acquire, like to make the application and then be assigned a dog?
Yes. Well, there's several different organizations that train guide dogs. And so basically they say, look up which ones you like, which ones have the, stand for what you really believe in, and go for that.
Okay.
Plus it gets you ahead of the line a little bit quicker.
Right. Now,
and then there's all these, then there's paperwork, and then there's it's quite involved. There's they will come to you to do a home visit.
Okay.
They record you. I had to go for a walk, and the lady walked behind me with a video camera.
Okay. Most
awkward day of my life. But they'd want to see how you walk. Are you quick? Are you slow?
Right.
Do you veer left or right? And so that way they can pair you with an appropriate dog.
Okay.
And then they basically sit there and watch. The trainers will watch your video and decide from there, like, oh, I have a dog for her. So I have a dog that would go perfectly right there. So.
Okay. So now, because we did have our little preliminary chat there beforehand. So you are on your second guide dog.
I am.
Okay.
I am. I just got Shadow last summer.
Okay. Okay. Because Ginger, as you had told me, retired. So, okay. So when you first are assigned the dog, talk to me about the experience of getting used to, because trust would be an issue, right? Like, I mean, so suddenly this creature, as specifically trained as it is, there's got to be like a get to know you sort of period.
Right. Well, I got my first guide, well, I got both of my guide dogs from the Canadian Guide Dogs for the Blind in Manitic, just outside of Ottawa.
Okay.
And they flew me there, and there were 3 other students when I got my first one, and we were all there for a month. And they put you up it's like being in a dorm with a bunch of other people that were like me, walking into stuff and tripping over ridiculousness. And you train every single day. You're out morning, noon, in the evenings. They do, sometimes you're in a grocery store, sometimes you're in a mall, sometimes you're just walking down a busy street or on a subway. So it was like a little vacation, but a little long.
Okay, so when you reference training, I was thinking that it was the dog. They're training you to work with the dog.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. She was already trained. I just had to learn. Yep. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was, she was smarter than me when I got her. So.
So tell me, as we kind of, move to a conclusion here, like, tell me what has been your experience and like, how has this impacted your life?
It's the best way to describe it is, imagine being dumped in the middle of a forest with nothing, no car. You can't get out because you can only walk so far. That's kind of how it is. You just have, when I first lost my vision, I just sat in my house
all the
time.
Okay.
Because I had the cane, but oh God, the looks you get. And just so everyone knows, when someone loses their sight, they can still hear.
Yeah.
So don't talk about them. If you have a question, I love, ask me questions. I love being asked questions.
Okay.
But both of my guide dogs have changed my life for the better. I live on my own now. I was with my husband before when I had Ginger, and with Shadow, I've been living in town.
Okay.
And we're university students, so she's very smart.
Okay.
And it's a whole new level of independence that you don't think you can get back.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And then she's the focus, not the girl with the cane. It's there's a dog in a mall,
People love
there's
dogs.
A dog
For sure. Now, so understanding then that you now have Shadow, this is my final question. I don't want to keep rattling on, but I could talk about this forever. So,
so could I. It's all
understanding now that you have Shadow, and before you had Ginger, it must have been so hard to let Ginger go. How long did you work with her? I think you said 7 years, right?
Yeah. And that was because we went through a lot together.
Yeah.
Ginger and I. Sorry, my dog is giving me the side eye right now. Like, I know you're talking about her. So, it is like having an ex come visit when Ginger comes. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting back on topic now. When I first got Ginger, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to remember to, she's like a tool that I use. She's like crutches if I broke my leg, or if I was my wheelchair, if I was a paraplegic, that kind of thing. But that didn't stick.
Yeah.
It was we ended up working at Mapleview during all the lockdowns,
right?
And I think she saved a lot of people, because we had worked together long enough that she knew when she could kind of be a little more playful and when she had to be serious guide dog. And so a lot of the people that lived at the home they were just as sad as I was when she retired. We had a cake for her, but I ate on her behalf. And it was really sweet. It was heartwarming to see how much she affected more than just me.
Oh my gosh.
So it was great.
Well, truly like a testament to, not only are they just wonderful, wonderful creatures, but certainly can be put to such supportive and functional purpose. Melissa, I want to thank you so much for reaching out. I want to thank you for making the time on such short notice to speak to me about this. And again, I look forward to speaking with you down the road, check in periodically. Keep me posted on what's happening with you and Shadow.
I will.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a great lady to talk to, and certainly her enthusiasm for her guide dogs, and highlighting their sensitivity and their innate intelligence. Definitely a worthy conversation, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, we're going to get into emergency preparedness because the week is upon us. So I thought, man, well, let's take a look and see what's happening. So this is what we have in place as per the city website. Now, obviously, I can't go into all of it because, we are actually pretty prepared. It's all very well laid out. So what we have in place, and of course the overall directive being that in order to protect the lives and properties of its citizens, each municipality then must develop and implement an emergency management program in accordance with legislated standards tailored to the local hazards and resources. It is the responsibility of the municipality to complete the mandatory annual program requirements as outlined in the Emergency Management and Civil Protections Act. Now, Sault Ste. Marie's emergency management is based on a risk management approach, and it includes activities in 5 components. So we have prevention, so actions taken to prevent an emergency. Mitigation, actions taken to reduce the effects of an emergency. Preparedness, actions taken prior to an emergency to ensure an effective response. We have response, which are actions taken to respond to an emergency, and recovery, the actions that are taken then to recover from an emergency. Okay, so all of this is governed by a group known as the Emergency Management Program Committee. Now, they are responsible for overseeing the development and implementation of the Emergency Management Program. The committee is comprised of the following members. There's the fire chief, who is the chair, the police chief, the chief administrative officer, the mayor, 2 council members, medical officer of health for Algoma Public Health, Sioux Area Hospital representative, manager of Central Ambulance Communications Center, commanding officer of the 49th Field Regiment, and a community emergency management coordinator. So quite a group of very informed, intelligent, and capable people. Now, digging further, what I found is that we do have an emergency response plan, which is a 15-page document. Did you hear it? Mike just fell off his chair. A 15-page document, and I'm going to go through it in every item in detail. No, but it details how our city would manage a crisis. So I did highlight just a few items, Mike. Don't worry. Okay, so what I found interesting was they talked about the scope then of the emergency response plan. So it applies to large-scale emergencies that occur within the city of Sault Ste. Marie. The Emergency Management Ontario Glossary of Terms defines an emergency as a situation or an impending situation that constitutes a danger of major proportions that could result in serious harm to persons or substantial damage to property, and that is caused by the forces of nature, a disease, or other health risk, an accident or an act, whether intentional or otherwise. So the emergency then may last from a few hours to several days or longer, and possible events for the city of Sault Ste. Marie include, but are not limited to, health-related emergencies, critical infrastructure failures, severe weather emergencies, fire and/or explosions, transportation emergencies. This plan, though, does not replace existing operating procedures or guidelines that are used by agencies responding to an emergency. So the concept of operations, okay, so this was another item that I thought was interesting because they talk about different levels of operations and associated response. So concept of operations then, so we looked, of course, the baseline, normal operations. Regular daily activities such as training exercises, public education, review of plans and procedures, and maintaining equipment to ensure a constant level of readiness should the need arise.
Do you still have weather to get to?
Enhanced operations. A high probability of emergency members of the Emergency Operations Control Team are kept informed of the situation and any developments. Select members of the Emergency Operations Control Team may convene to address the situation. Activated operations. An emergency is imminent or occurring and requires the city's emergency response plan be activated. Members of the Emergency Operations Control Team will be required to attend the Emergency Operations Center in order to coordinate the appropriate response activities. And then finally, we have recovery. Activities are underway to transition from enhanced or activated back to normal operations. Select member of the Emergency Operations Control Team may convene, and all members will be kept informed of the plan. And then the last item that I thought was, worthy of being brought forward, and of course, I'm going to post this to our website with, relevant hyperlinks. Should you wish to go through the whole thing, it really is well laid out. Activation of the plan. The city's emergency response plan may be activated in whole or in part by any member of the Emergency Operations Control Team. The Emergency Operations Control Team may take action under the emergency response plan where an emergency exists but has not yet been declared to exist. So the following, okay, you guys are going to keep chirping in my ear, aren't you? Shh, shh. Okay, sorry, they're just, having active conversations. So the team then, the Emergency Operations Control Team may take action under the emergency response plan where an emergency exists but has not yet been declared to exist. The following may be event triggers which could drive the activation of the plan. So does the event requires coordination of multiple agencies. The event requires centralized decision-making to mitigate impact. The event requires coordinated communication and messaging. The event requires coordinated approach with other levels of government. The event is outside the scope of normal operations. The event requires information gathering and analysis from multiple sources. The event is pre-planned and requires active management to ensure public safety. Now, having come through the pandemic, we can see now how this all sort of works, in collaboration, and we can see where some of the responses taken by the municipal government in support of the provincial government, falling in line with the federal government, how it all kind of devolves into these centralized plans. So as I said, I will be posting an article today with regards to this summary. So do go to SiouxOnline.com to see the full scale of our emergency preparedness plan and understand what we have in place. I am being told now that Craig is ready. So we will go over to Craig for some more detailed information on the weather and what we can expect. Craig.
Well, Heidi, the good news today is that it looks like we're going to be missing out on that heavy rain that's coming up from the south. We'll show you that on the systems map here. Here's that low pressure system. It originally was going to make a trek right up towards the Sioux and give us some heavy rains for today. That is now pushing towards the Georgian Bay area and also southern Ontario. We may see some showers, say St. Joe Island, some mist. We may see some showers and mist to the east of the city, but for the most part, we're going to be staying cloud. We are going to see the winds pick up a little bit from the northwest also today. Let's take a look now at the satellite shot, and we can show you what it looks like from space. Here it is right here. The grays and the dark grays, that's heavy rain showers, and that, of course, is moving into southern Ontario. We don't have to worry about seeing any of that. We are going to see eventually some clearing later on this afternoon into our evening, giving us a really nice day for Wednesday. As far as the temperatures go, we're still a little bit off the mark. We may climb up to 11 degrees today. We have it at 7 just to be safe, but we could climb up to 11 for an hour or two. Really depends on how much of a southerly flow we're going to pick up the service. 6 degrees in Wawa, 7 degrees and in Timmins and also in Sudbury. And way back here in Thunder Bay, they're seeing the 11 degrees. They're eventually tapping into that warmer air mass that is heading our way for the rest of the week. So this is what we look like on the radar. Really nothing to show you right now, but this is a future radar taking us into the afternoon, and you can see just right there, that's the that low pressure system coming into the Georgian Bay and also into southern Ontario. This is what your day looks like, your 3-day forecast. 7 degrees to 11 degrees for your high today. We hope to see a little bit of sun. I have a little bit of shower activity. That's primarily to the east of the city. For Wednesday and Thursday, though, we certainly clear up. just sunny skies, 12 degrees for your day on Wednesday, and then 14 on Thursday. And guess what? We are heading towards 20 degrees by the end of this weekend. I'll give you all those details coming up. Heidi?
Excellent, excellent news. Okay, we're going to take one last quick break because once again, I've managed to make us run over. So you're going to hear from our business community. I'm not even permitted to go into detail. So go fill your cup. Come on back for factoids and social media. Boom. Superior Adult Learning is looking for volunteers who want to make a difference in our community and help others reach their full potential. In only a few hours a week, you can help our learners achieve their goals and set them on a path towards a successful, independent future. Visit www.superioral.ca to get started now.
École publique Éco des Rapides, a place where your child can learn, grow, and be happy. Discover why more and more families are choosing École publique Éco des Rapides for their child. Register your child January 17th to the 21st at epedr.cspgno.ca. Parce que je vois grand.
Haven't you seen Happy Gilmore? If you haven't, you should. All right, I am instructed to go directly into factoids, and because I have been teased for my love of music, I've deliberately veered away from the musical trivia today. Oh, pretend you're the one that gives me grief. Pretends he's upset about it. Okay, I'm flipping my hair. May 3rd, 1966, Johnny Carson saves Twister. That's right.
Twister the game?
Yes, the game Twister strikes gold when Johnny Carson plays the game on The Tonight Show with actress Eva Gabor, the star of TV's Green Acres. Oh my gosh, Mike, you found it. That's fantastic. Interesting, yeah. Look at that, eh? Okay, so up to then, sales of the game were slow as many stores felt that the game was too risque and refused to carry it. Sales were so slow, the game was about to be pulled from the market. However, the day after Carson and Gabor played it on TV, people were lining up at stores asking for the game, and 3 million were sold the following year.
Jeez. Imagine if we played the game here on the show. There'd be like 4 or 5 million.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, did you know as well, Twister was originally going to be called Pretzel, but that name was already being used for a toy dog.
Ah, okay.
There
I
you
like
go.
Twister
You got
better.
a factoid embedded within a factoid.
Yeah.
Okay. May 3rd, 1988. So I sometimes get teased for my love of things astrological. However, high-profile people do rely on astrologers. So excerpts from U.S. President Ronald Reagan's former chief of staff describing astrologer Joan Quigley's role in White House decisions are printed in Time magazine. Donald Reagan wrote, virtually every major move and decision the Reagans made during my time as White House Chief of Staff was cleared in advance with a woman in San Francisco, this Quigley, who drew up horoscopes to make certain that the planets were in favorable alignment for the enterprise. Mrs. Reagan had begun using Quigley after Quigley claimed she could have foreseen the 1981 assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan, had she been watching for it. I think it's kind of easy to say I could have predicted that after it happens. No?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there you go. All right, now I don't have anybody drawing up astrological charts to guide my decisions, but I do pay attention. And that's why I always bring you information about Mercury retrograde, because there are certain things you should not do during certain phases of the moon, during certain phases of certain planets. Okay, we're already over. I know, so we're going right into social media.
Okay. Not a lot talking today.
No. There's some chatter, but
There's
not
some
too
chatter.
much. Tony Mancuso taking the lead for the first time.
Hey, Tony.
Welcome to the front runner position, Tony Mancuso. He says, good morning, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great day as well, Tony. Thank you for popping in. Margaret McKeag says, good morning, all. Good morning, Margaret. Always nice to hear from you.
Good morning.
Terry Matthews, good morning, all. Terry, I'd hoped to get to the Leafs for you, but they did such a great job. I said it was like 5-0, 6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a trouncing. Good for them. All right, but good morning to you, sir. Steve Childs, GTTA, HAGD. He's got 2 honeybees, the sun coming up between 2 great, huge tracts of land, rocking the horns. So good Taco Tuesday. Oh, where are my tacos, Craig? Have a great day. Steve Childs. I guess you haven't had a brick thrown through your window at 3 a.m.
I don't know what he's referring to on that one. Would it be the crime in the city?
Probably having to do with our discussion about the timing of the plaza and prioritizing. Like if something has happened to you, you may prioritize the allocation of funds differently. No, Steve, I have not had a brick thrown through my window at 3 a.m. and I'm very sorry to think that you have. That's awful. New viewer, Marcia Merrick. Hello, Marcia Merrick. Marcia.
Marcia.
Brady Bunch, yes. Marcia. Welcome aboard. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. She says, good morning, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Good morning to you. I wish you to have a lovely day as well. Enika, good morning, everyone. Happy Taco Tuesday.
Oops.
Yes. Thanks, Enika. Good morning to you. And of course, she's also offering the sun and the tracts of land to come up. Yes. Rick Sutherland. Hello, Rick. Rick Sutherland says, good morning, all. Have a great day. Good morning to you. Bradley Evoy. Oops, I lost him. There he goes. Oh, I always forget that. Bradley Evoy says, good morning. Happy Taco Tuesday. Yes. Happy Taco Tuesday to you as well, Brad. Thank you for commenting and have a great day. Marilyn Dunn says, good morning, everyone, with 3 exclamation points. Have a great day. You as well, Marilyn. Say hello to Chris for me. Terry Matthews, yes, go Leafs go, indeed. Tony Mancuso, great interview with Melissa. Oh yes, she's lovely. Oh my gosh, I've been privileged to provide rides for Melissa, Ginger, and Shadow over the past years. I wish them all the best. Aw, yes, lovely lady. Kimberly Seabrook says, good morning all. Good morning to you. Rick Sutherland comes back in to say happy level 46 to me. It's your birthday? Ah, happy 46th birthday, mon ami. That's fantastic. I hope it's a great day and certainly do wish you your best year yet. Steve Childs chimes in on that, says happy 46th, 7th day, Craig.
Oh, we're there already.
I told you.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Oh my gosh.
You've won the jackpot.
Yeah.
Look at those temperatures towards the end. We're climbing up to towards 20 by the weekend. So
quite a swing on Wednesday from the daytime to the overnight.
Yeah, we still kind of get cold at night, but that's even warming up. So
whatever. Wow.
Hey, let's not complain.
No.
You don't see a forecast like that every day. So.
Well, I mean, you can complain, but who's going to listen, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You get to see me in shorts there.
Yeah, shorts are coming out.
I'm going to look at all these sexy legs I have.
Busting out my little dresses. It's happening. It's on. All right, well, you know what? We are delightfully over time today, so if you stayed with us this long, thank you very much for watching. Spread the word. We are the Sioux's only local news show, and we look forward to continuing to bring you all of our local news, the factoids, the live interaction on social media. So like, follow, share, tell everybody, tag people in the comments, and yeah, that's all I have.
Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, tell us what you want to see. Failing that, you'll see us tomorrow on Hump Day. Yeah, have a great day.
Bye-bye.
First Local, supported by Maker North, 3D printing, laser cutting, 3D design, education, prototyping, and more. Maker North, whatever it takes.